If we haven't met before, I am Phil, and I'm here to share with you what it's like living with end-stage renal failure. A lot of what I talk about on this channel is routine stuff, like doing dialysis 3 times a week, or managing my diet on a daily basis, or monthly blood tests, that sort of thing. Not everything with polycystic kidneys is routine. There are times you get a surprise, and when that happens, you can often write off the next few days or whatever you had planned for them. And that's exactly what happened in this case of the story I'm going to tell you today. All right. Okay, so if you watched my story about diagnosis, you'll probably remember that I had a burst cyst before I actually went on dialysis, and it was extremely painful. I think the same thing might have happened again this morning, and ironically I was in the same place, so I had to get my wonderful wife to bring my walking stick in and help me walk out of the bathroom and come and sit in this seat and put some heat on my back. Not sure where we go from here. I think I'll probably be alright just riding it out. I've had some pretty decent painkillers already. I'm starting to get a bit sleepy, but depending on what happens, I may end up going to ED. Here's hoping I don't, but if I do, I do, and we'll let you know what happens. Okay. As you can see, it's a beautiful day outside, and I'm stuck here lying flat on my back. I'm probably going to be here for a good few hours until the pain resides. I don't know how long that's going to take. But, you know, that's just part of the deal. Alright, well, I've only been here about an hour and a half now, but I'm absolutely bored out of my mind. I've had quite a bit of codone, which is the painkiller that I use for this sort of thing. Had two doses, and I still haven't been able to go to sleep. The pain is that bad. Just to give you some context, when the pain first started this morning, which I believe was when a cyst burst, you know, when you go to the doctor and they say, how do you rate your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being no pain at all, 10 being the worst pain you've ever felt. Well, when this first happened this morning, it was about a 12 or 13. I couldn't hold myself up. I couldn't stand. I needed help walking. By the time I settled into the recliner and had some heat on it and taken some painkillers, it probably brought it down to about a 7 or an 8. But when I moved to get up to come and lie down in bed, I took it right back up to a 10 as soon as I moved. And as I continued moving, it got back up to about where it was before. So, to be frank, this is pretty painful. I've lain here with heat on the painful area, and as I say, I had a second dose of oxycodone, and the pain has reduced somewhat. It's sitting about a 7 or 8. I just got up and hobbled my way to the loo and back, and I wouldn't put it beyond about a 9.5 or a 10 at most for that whole journey. So it's improving, which is nice, but I'm still not really able to do much other than lie here. Yeah, so there we go. That's where we're at the moment. So I've made it back out to the lounge about I don't know, probably spent 2.5 hours in bed on the whole, maybe a bit more. Might seem a bit strange that I'm in so much pain and I haven't gone to emergency or hospital or anything. What I've been watching out for is signs of infection, so high temperature or peeing a lot of blood or discomfort in that area other than what feels like a burst cyst. None of that's happened. The only thing they could do for me if I went to ED is maybe give me some fentanyl, which is a stronger painkiller. I've managed to weather it until the pain's reduced enough. It's still sitting consistently, probably about a 7 or an 8, but I can now move a bit more easily, so I'm expecting it to reduce over the next 12 or 24 hours. So we're probably over the hump of the whole thing, but yeah, it's going to be probably at least another day of inactivity for me. So the pain got a bit much. We called an ambulance about 3:20. They arrived about 4:30. I'm now in ED at Wanganui Hospital. They've given me some fentanyl, which has knocked the pain back a bit. It's starting to return again, but you know, I really enjoyed the respite and quite a good sleep actually. I've had a CT scan. We're waiting on the results to see if anyone can figure out what's going on. Sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. The other thing is that my waterworks aren't working quite as well as they usually do. So there may be some impact there. We'll see what happens when we get the results and we'll go from there. The pain is fluctuating. Depends on how much painkiller I've got on board at the time. But it is better than I was feeling when I got in the ambulance this morning. Unfortunately, my bladder doesn't seem to be working. I've had over 1 litre of water this morning, and I can feel it filling up in my stomach, or my bladder area, and I just can't go. Sounds like they're going to do another scan of my bladder to see if they can see what's going on. So I guess we'll find out what happens then.
Heading home from the hospital now. Yeah, they had to put a catheter in, which wasn't thrilling. Fortunately, they did something that I hadn't come across before, and they only left it in for 5 or 10 minutes, enough to clear out my bladder, then took it out. So I'm not going home with the catheter, and I'm very happy about it. As far as the pain goes, they couldn't see anything on the scan. They're not sure what caused it. I'm still of the mind that I think it was a burst cyst. It was just too similar to what happened before, but I guess we'll never know exactly what it was.
Okay, so hopefully this will wrap it all up. Got home from hospital yesterday at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and slept for 3 hours. Was still in quite a bit of pain when I got up, but nothing like what I was to start. So basically I slept through the night with a bit of help from some oxycodone, and then got up this morning, hobbled around a lot. Actually needed help drying myself after a shower for the first time, which is a bit demoralizing, but anyway. By the end of today, I've done dialysis this afternoon. By the end of today, I'm still getting the odd twinge in my back, where I think that cyst or whatever it was causing me pain, but much better than I was even this morning. So I'm kind of hopeful that this will be over and done with in the next day or so. I mean, obviously I was hoping it would be sooner, but I was wrong. The last time I had a breast cyst, I was in hospital for a week. So, you know, I think I can take this one as a win. If I only have a few days of pain. So, I thought I was getting better last night. Might have been because I'd done dialysis, I don't know. But I can't walk without a stick again this morning, and I needed help getting dressed, which is quite frustrating. Most of all, I had a really good sleep, and I just feel like I could, I don't know, go to sleep or black out or something any minute because I'm just so tired from this pain. So I'm going to get back into the painkillers again today and see if we can knock it on the head. Good news is it's not as painful as it was, you know, over the weekend. But whenever I move, yeah, it hurts quite a lot. Can't take a lot of weight on my leg. So it's 8 days since the incident, which I think was a cyst bursting, happened. I'm not totally over it. I need to be careful which way I turn so as not to cause the pain to flare up. But I'm finally a lot better than I was. Unfortunately, this has been a fairly negative video, but it's honest. This last week has been long and very difficult, and I spent a good chunk of it in almost constant pain, which is not just exhausting but really frustrating. So I'm thinking it's going to take at least another week until all this and what's going on in my back as a result is completely wound down. But you know, there are positives. I was looking forward all week to going to Armageddon, which is a get together for fans, kind of like a Comic-Con. It's held in different places in New Zealand, and we went off to the Palmerston North one yesterday, and yeah, the pain in my back made it a bit more awkward to get around, but doesn't mean I couldn't still enjoy the day. So as negative as this week has been, you know, it ended up with a positive finish. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it or found it interesting, I'd appreciate it if you could hit like. If you want to know more about what it's like living with end-stage renal failure, then go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.